work my way along. Now come on, don't pretend you're not impressed. So can you see how it's done that, look? Don't know how that's reading on you guys. You see it's created this kind of spidery, webby, revolting thing? See, look at that. Now, the fact that I mentioned Alien, the movie, hopefully you're looking at that going, oh my God, that's what the eggs look like in Alien. And that's exactly it. I'm gonna do a close-up piece here. Hey, Mike, can I borrow you a second?
Yeah.
Can you just hold that skeleton in this position here so that this camera can get what I'm about to do? I'm gonna show you guys again. This is one of those techniques that you're gonna see it done and then you're gonna wanna practice it. Hair dryer on. Here we go, right in there. So right in this area here. I'm going to do a piece here now. You have to work fairly quick on this, and flat areas are better. Okay, thanks, Mike. So you can see it very quickly. You get a really organic look. Now, I'm just doing it on here right now to get some glue onto the skeleton. Normally, I would do this afterwards on the build-up area or on the latex. But I wanted to show you first of all because normally what you would do is let this dry or hair dryer it, and we're going to put some latex over the top of this and let that dry as well. Multitasking. This is dried. I'm going to put another layer of latex on all of these. This is our third layer going on. If you guys aren't bored yet, this is how it's going to be all day long. And this is how we're going to build up our skeleton from a bare bone skeleton to a withered looking corpse. So now you're going to want to add latex to these, but you want to be very gentle with this because these filaments are quite weak. So all you want to do is get some latex on your brush and kind of mop it over the top of these. It's going to reinforce all of these organic threads. What it's also going to do for you guys at home, hopefully, is allow you to see where all the buildup is. I'm really hoping this is a new technique to you guys, that you're looking at this and saying, I've never seen this done, or I've never done that. Or some of you going, oh yeah, I've been doing that for years. That's not new. This is an old technique. But judging by the reaction I've had from people while I've been in Los Angeles and when I've shown it to people, I think it's a pretty English technique. Or a set dressing technique rather than makeup effects, but for this kind of thing it's great. So now you can see that it's all on there. And that's going to dry and go clear. We'll do another layer and that gives us a nice build up. And what we're going to do is the whole skeleton. We're going to build up our layers. Once this is on, it's going to give us a really nice surface to put our latex on and help us build up Skinny Bob here. So let me just do a bit more of that latexy, of that bargey stuff. Does anyone have any questions about what we're doing so far? Or are you just all dumbfounded and shocked and stunned beyond belief? It's cool, right? Isn't it a great technique? Isn't that awesome? It is. It's fun to do as well. It's very addictive when you start doing it. You're like, whoa, look, it's bubbling and ballooning. And what's great about it is it's fast.
Kami said that she used hot glue instead of Barge. Do you recommend doing
hot glue,
that?
you can't paint on it. That's the only problem. It doesn't. I'm going to show you how to paint this stuff really, really quickly. I'm going to show you a painting technique later on that will blow your minds to paint one of these really fast. And obviously, because hot glue is, I don't even know what hot glue actually is. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, you know, hot gluing, if you're doing the air hot glue thing, the cobwebby thing, it's not going to stick as well. It's going to be hard to paint to. This will allow you to paint to with copic ink. But I don't know what I'm trying to think what actually hot glue is made of. Hot glue sticks, what actually the technical chemical thing is, I don't know. But like I say, I've used hot glue for certain things. I saw a great technique done a few years ago by the guys over at KMB on a film called The Island, where what they were doing is they were doing veins on, they did a whole bunch of bodies that were kind of like in cryostasis or were genetic, you know, clones that were being born. And if you ever saw those, they were skeletons with all veins and vascules and tendons and nerves. And what they did was they were doing hot glue veins and ironing them with an iron, which I thought was a great technique. And they made all these great little veins, so that was a cool technique. So we'll do a bunch of this. But it kind of is like the cobwebby hot glue technique, only this sticks. Like I say, what I'm doing now really is just getting a layer of barge on some of the skeleton to give us something to stick to. I have one little bleed. Come on this side. Turn that for a second, and while I'm doing that, I'm just going to paint some barge onto this so that it's a bit quieter and I can talk to you guys while I'm doing it.
Collier was wondering if you're using RD 407 latex to make the nurnies.
Am I using what? What was that? What's the question? I didn't hear it.
If you're using RD 407 latex for the nurnies.
RD 407 latex. Mike Regan's saying yes. Is that right? Are we? I don't know. Slipcast latex. I don't know the technical terms for this stuff. Collier, good Lord. What do you want from me? Slip casting latex. That's how I've always bought it. I mean, it's never been described to me any differently. So if it's milky, it's kind of thick, and it's used for casting rubber masks. That's the stuff you want to be using. You're more technically knowledgeable than I am, knowing the names and things. I found that over the years, to be honest, because every 6 months they change the names of everything, or they give it a new number and a new thing, that by the time I got into my 30s, I was still referring to things by their old names. There was still, and I came from England as well, where we had a whole different terminology of things. Even asking for things like, cotton buds, where people were like, what do you mean? What's a cotton bud? And you're like, oh, a tongue depressor or a mixing stick, and everything had a different name. So, yes, whatever you said, I'm sure it's the right one, Collier, but slip casting latex.
Veronica would like to know if you could use this cobwebbing technique with liquid latex.
It won't blow. I mean, you're going to use the liquid latex afterwards. Can you see how we've done the liquid latex here? But it won't blow. The only thing that has this, see, I'm saying this to Veronica, but Veronica's the one who goes out there and then tests it afterwards. The latex isn't going to web like the adhesive does. I mean, if you just blow latex, it's just going to spatter off in the chunks. You're not going to get this organic-y vapor. So no, I'm going to say definitely not. Yes, you can do the brush technique that you did with the cuts without using an airbrush, but no, this contact adhesive technique has to be done with contact adhesive. Yeah. Because there's something about it where just the nature of it is that it blows and bubbles and does its thing. And you need this layer of adhesive on it anyway. The thing about it is if you just do latex on top of the skeleton, it's going to all want to peel off. The adhesive layer that we're doing first kind of lets the latex bite onto it. Like I say, normally I don't do the blown technique first away. Normally I do some build-up with some latex and some tissue. But I wanted to show you guys the technique straight away. And you are going to get through quite a lot of it. I'm going to do the hip area right around here. We're going to do a lot of build-up on here, but again, I'm going to show you this technique. I figure the more I can show it you, the better. Latex over here has gone off. I'm going to come back to that, and I'm going to show you nurnies, and then we're going to do some latex manipulation.
Stephanie was wondering if you can hot glue veins onto the skeleton.
You can. I'd rather you made veins out of latex. The veins out of hot glue, and you're not going to be able to. They're going to be a pain to stick on. You could kind of paint them on with the hot glue gun if you like, but the only problem with that is they're different. They're not going to take the dye that we're going to use later on. That stuff you can't really paint hot glue. It's always going to go whatever color. It's that kind of natural kind of milky color. It's going to be that color. Paint's going to rub off it. If you tint it or you get black hot glue or blue hot glue, it's going to be that color. So try it if you want to, but I would rather you made veins out of nurnies and kind of put those on it if you really want to put veins on it. So again, I'm kind of stay away from the hot glue a little bit. I'm not a big fan of hot glue. So we're going to be right in here, onto this area. Again, this is more of the same. Again, the good areas to focus on are these ones with these metal pins. You want to hide those pins and get some stuff over those, be it latex or contact cement or anything. Anything that builds up over the hardware to hide it is a good thing. I just wanted to show you more of that on the flat areas, but again, what I'm really trying to do right now is just get a layer of glue onto some of this area. Because we're going to be gluing foam to this, and then we're going to be doing the same technique over the top of the foam. So, get some of this on. And again, what I mean by multitasking usually is, it's a posh word for me to say things, letting things dry, rather than waiting for latex to dry, or waiting for contact cement to dry, or waiting for paint to dry. If you can be doing another task while something is drying, I think that's really useful. I talked about this in my first lesson. There's nothing worse than having an employee or a technician who's basically standing there with a fan pointed at something, saying, I'm waiting for this thing to dry. It's like, well, it's going to dry naturally. You know, and rather than burning the hairdryer out, which I'm sure you've all done, you know, had the hairdryer go click and stop working because it's burnt out the fuse, you know, let just a flow of air do it and walk away and do something else. So there's a layer of barge on pretty much most of that. And obviously you would do the back as well. Maybe we'll do some of the back too. Again, when we're using the barge or any contact cement, make sure you have good ventilation, because you're all going to get pretty woozy. Right.